You're listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast with your hosts, Emily
and Jason. All right, this is the episode. This is the one. People have been asking for this one, and we have mentioned doing it several times. Yeah, I wondered how long you would go. I actually thought I'd keep going to see if you would. No, it's fine. Kind of sounds like a fake trumpet. Trumpet, please. The conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theory episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. We're doing this because we are gluttons for punishment.
Oh, we're going to get canceled now?
Oh, probably, because you're not allowed to talk about conspiracies these days.
I thought that you got a lot of ideas from the Popular Mechanics magazine.
I did. But, of course, a place like that, or any media these days, is going to say, you know, well, if you conspiracy theories are crazy, and if you believe any of them, you are also crazy.
It said that?
No, but that's just the vibe you get. Any media, any, I don't know, the science people, the people who love science.
But I thought a lot of people who loved science also loved conspiracy theories, but then it switched.
I do think we should start this out very quickly. You know, why conspiracy theories are problematic, okay, to a lot of people.
Just because it gets people questioning everything.
And the other part of that, I should say, we don't care that they're problematic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, I don't care that a conspiracy, because at the end of the day,
what does it matter?
It doesn't really matter, especially like we're not harming anybody. I think
we're not trying to convince anybody.
No, we're not. And I don't
even know what you're going to talk about.
That's right. I have a list.
So
but I did tell you I got it from Popular Mechanics. So that's the thing. I have the top 10 conspiracy theories according to Popular Mechanics, because there's actually a list of 30, and I just took their top 10. I don't know if they actually ranked it.
Okay.
So did
you read all 30 of them?
I didn't read like the long article about each one.
Just the headings.
Yeah, and then of course read more about the ones I was interested in. But there's some doozies in here. But I am interested to kind of like, why is it a problem these days? Because I come from the 90s where there's literally a movie called Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson, which of course he's canceled. I don't know. Is he canceled these days? He's kind of not canceled now. He sort of is.
You know, I know nothing about celebrities at all.
Well, yeah, he's something. Anyway, it was a cool movie, and it was just, you know, it had all the conspiracies and stuff, and it was a thriller movie. Very good, very good. But that was back when basically people talked about the moon landing in JFK, and it's like, it was okay. It was just interesting. It was interesting to just have this idea of, oh, these things are this feels off.
Yeah.
But now it's not okay for that to even be interesting.
Really?
I mean, you should know. We have an Instagram video that has 11 million views with people. Well, I don't know. JFK's not
I thought they wrote a book about it.
Well, they've written a lot of books about it.
The one you're reading, or we're reading, or
actually, Stephen King wrote that book, 11/22/63. Fully, he's not. He doesn't. He thinks it was Lee Harvey Oswald. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that later. That's on the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have an unfair advantage because you researched this, you read it, you read little blurbs, and I'm going in totally blind. So if I sound uneducated,
no,
then that is why.
Well,
because
uneducated
some of them,
about
I'm sure I don't even know.
Some of them are ridiculous.
I can think of like 5 conspiracy theories, and I think it's funny that like even now there are conspiracy theories, like the whole Trump assassination was not real. That is a conspiracy theory that would be okay to be believed by certain groups, right?
I don't know.
Like anti-conspiracy. I don't know. Okay.
I don't know.
Go ahead, Jason. Let's hear it.
So here's something.
Is that on the list?
No, it's not. That's the thing I was going to say too, is that in these days there is a conspiracy. Everything is a conspiracy theory. There's new conspiracies every single day. This episode comes out on a Wednesday, the day after the presidential election. We have no idea what's going to happen. We don't know if we know who the next president's going to be at this point. There's going to be about 10 new conspiracy theories by the end of today when you're listening to this, I'm sure.
Okay, I'm excited to see, because like I'm trying to think of what they could be, and so I'm excited. Let's dive in.
All right, so let's do this in a fun way.
Okay.
We have top 10 conspiracy theories according to Popular Mechanics. You're going to hear them. Some you've heard before, some you haven't. Some I have never heard either. And you and I are going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 2. I'm sorry.
1 to 2.
1 to 10.
Okay.
Likelihood of it being true. 1 is no way. 10, definitely true.
Okay.
So, like, there's no disputing it, which I'm doubtful that we'll get a 10. Coming in at number 10. And we have some personal experience with this one. Bigfoot is real.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
You don't have to rate it yet. We can discuss it first if you want.
Okay. I think we should
can
discuss it first. We know someone who truly believed in Bigfoot.
Yeah, we were in Northern California for several months in the redwoods. Bought a car from this guy.
He was a Bigfoot spotter. Like, he set up trail cams and
Oh, yeah.
Spent a lot of time.
And since that time, I've really looked into it just more so to see what the community is all about.
Mm-hmm.
It's a community.
And here's one thing.
Not to like trample on anybody. That's cool. If you found your people, that's great. The Bigfoot people.
Heard that there's some controversy about Bigfoot in that so many people claim their land to be Bigfoot land. To me, Northern California is Bigfoot land. Like,
I think
Northern California
goes up into
Oregon, Washington, that Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
If Bigfoot were going to be real, that is where he would live. Not Missouri.
I mean, since we've gotten footage of him, I would imagine that he could have migrated. Or she.
Where's the place that gets all the footage, or like people who claim to have the
Well,
footage?
there was the Patterson.
Montana?
The Patterson-Gimlin footage. They were making a documentary. I'm not exactly sure where that was filmed. I want to say it was the Pacific Northwest. I could be wrong. I would have to. Do you want me to look that up?
No, I don't care.
Let me look it up.
Okay. While you're looking it up, Southern Illinois also thinks they're Bigfoot land.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wait, we're 5 miles from Bigfoot land?
Well, according to people in Southern Illinois.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So basically any place that's really wooded.
Wooded, hilly, rocky.
A little bit rocky.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Or has giant trees. Okay. Del Norte County. Is it Del Norte? Del Norte? I don't know. Northern California. Bluff Creek, a tributary of the Klamath River. So that about where we were. About where we were.
Where we were.
Yeah. So it's the community's heavy right there because that's where they filmed it. You know, you've seen the footage, right? Where it shows like Bigfoot kind of looking back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They've kind of made this high res version of it. Like I don't know how they did it or whatever. And I looked at it and it looks even less real to me.
Really?
It's very grainy. It's very grainy, the footage we have there.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Bigfoot.
So you're a 1?
I'm not a 1. See, I feel like there's not much of an in-between on some of these because some of them are just ridiculous. Like, what is Bigfoot supposed to be? The Sasquatch?
I think he's just a hairy giant because someone was telling me, they're like, well, biblically, Bigfoot tracks.
Really? Tracks? Like, they found there's Bigfoot tracks in the Bible?
No, they're just like, I can see that. And I was like,
What? Why were you talking about Bigfoot?
I don't know. It was such a blip of a conversation. That's all that was said. And then I turned around to a different conversation. So
it's really, whoever was talking about that, it was really on their mind. And they've been thinking, they're part of that group. I just
needed to share this,
part of this group.
Ladies.
By the way, I am from Southern Illinois and I've seen it. Okay. So something about that, there is a costume maker named Philip Morris who claimed to have made the costume for that documentary film.
Okay.
You know, he could just be looking for attention.
This is number 10 or this is number 1?
This is number 10.
Okay.
So I'm going
Gets
for
better
10 to
from
1.
here?
Well, it gets weirder,
Okay.
but better is subjective.
Okay.
So,
all right. I'm ready to rank this.
Okay. I think on land, exploration and discovery of animals and different things, I'm giving
They're
it
still discovering bugs and all sorts of stuff.
little tiny things. Now, if this were in the ocean, like I could like Loch Ness, which isn't on this list, I would give more like a 6 or something.
What?
Why not? Because it's in water. I know it's not the ocean, but it's in the water, and nobody explores the water that much.
They definitely do. And it's not even in the ocean. So like,
yeah. It's a big lake, isn't it? I don't know. Okay, Bigfoot, I'm giving a 2.
okay, I'm giving a 3.
Okay, so you believe in
Because-
Bigfoot just a little bit more than I do.
Well,
Just a little.
only because walking through the woods of Northern California, I swear a little fairy could pop out at any point. It's
It is
really
quite
not,
magical.
It's not that I think Bigfoot is real, but it's magical. So it's like, really, anything could happen in these woods.
Actually, now that you speak of it, I did a long trail in Northern California among the redwoods. It was by myself. I want to say it was like 10 miles
Mm-hmm.
where I saw nobody.
Yeah,
I mean, those woods are not completely explored.
sure.
Surely. I don't know. I
Mhm.
could see maybe I'm going to join you at 3.
Okay.
I'm going to join you at 3. You're right.
And if he's like, I mean, but how old is he? Maybe there was one and he's gone now.
Yeah. And could be super evasive too. Maybe he's not aggressive. That's the other thing.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
just kind of hiding.
I don't know where
I'm
they stopped.
sort of thinking about putting mine at 2 again, but seriously, it's so magical that I'm going with 3.
It's where they filmed The Lost World, Jurassic Park. They had dinosaurs. So if they had dinosaurs. Okay. All right. This one's weird.
Is dinosaurs on the list?
No. Oh, see, this, I got this
There's
from
gaps.
an article.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably more interesting ones out there, especially than number 9.
Okay, what's
Number 9 we're going to gloss over very quickly.
Okay.
Prince, well, now King Charles is a vampire.
I don't care.
Since he has a sensitivity to light, apparently, and
Lots of people have some. That's just a weird eye issue.
disease
probably
with a
has- does he have
deficiency of
blue eyes?
iron in the blood is common in the royal family, apparently, and
And
it's
he's not
claimed that
taking
he
his-
is a descendant of Vlad the Impaler. I'm putting this in an I don't care category.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
putting it
believe
at
in
1.
vampires,
First of all,
really.
I don't believe in
It's a
vampires
1.
at all. It's
Yeah.
a 1, and I don't care. And I know someone who's super sensitive to light. He wears sunglasses
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
So,
I'm a 1 on
and
this
he's
one.
definitely not a vampire.
I don't know why this is on the list. It has me questioning popular mechanics.
That
That's
was
for sure.
weird.
It's weird.
Number 8.
Number 8. Here we go. The Earth, you've been waiting for this one, people, is flat.
I'm not educated on this, and people like are really disappointed that I don't.
That you believe in
care.
a globe? That you have a globe in your house
Here's
and
the
not
thing.
just a flat map?
When you're driving, I kind of see the sky as round.
I see curvatures.
I see curvature. Like if you're in Montana and you're looking out over a vast
driving
landscape,
through Wyoming.
I see curvature. I don't know if it's just my mind,
Yeah.
but I just don't believe it. And we've gone so far. Like, how big is this flat pancake that they're saying? We've flown.
I mean, we're very small creatures in the grand scheme of things.
I don't know. The way we've flown is around the world.
Well, how do you know? You're in a tube,
I know.
you know?
I just am not seeing it, and I know it's going to disappoint a few people.
I
There
think
are
we
some
might lose
people-
some followers over this one.
There are people who message me quite frequently about this information, and I don't really ever look into it. I'm sorry. If I ever liked a message about it that you sent me, I didn't read it.
Why is it such a big thing now? Why has it become so popular lately? I mean, it's not a new concept.
It's the
but-
Antarctica thing with the lizard people. That
What?
has something to do with the flatness, I think.
I don't follow.
apparently the edge or something. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it.
Okay,
I've
well,
only
give me
heard,
your take on the uneducated take on it. I'm
that
very
I've
uneducated
heard
on it.
is
Yes.
that like Antarctica is the edge of it or something, and beyond that, they're protecting us. They won't let us go there because beyond that are lizard people.
Okay.
So Bigfoot is starting to sound really good.
Okay, that sounds a little crazy to me.
Something about lizard people. I can't really remember. And I honestly, I feel like I should have watched some documentaries about each of these things to make an educated conclusion. So maybe we need to go do that.
Okay, okay, so this is our uninformed conspiracy theory podcast episode. Maybe a few down the line we'll do a more informed episode. Because I'm not that educated in it either. All I know is I've never heard the lizard people thing.
You haven't heard the lizard people?
I've heard of lizard people as a different conspiracy theory, but not in
it's something
relation
to do with
the
flat Earth.
It all is, isn't it?
But weren't we actually started
fell off
applying.
The edge.
No, we started applying to go to Antarctica. And that guy who believed in Bigfoot lived in Antarctica.
He did.
Oh my gosh.
What have you uncovered?
He lived in Antarctica. He probably saw the lizard people. He's the one who got us interested in applying, but we didn't have like the right skills. They need like very technically skilled people.
No,
we were like applying to be food service people, trash guy.
Yeah.
But you have to
we
live,
wanted to go to all
like,
the continents.
Yeah, you have to live in an enclosed environment.
Yeah, for like 6 months
with artificial light constantly.
Well, it's
you don't get to go outside. No, you're just like in these rooms.
Forget the lizard people part.
Okay, but that is really interesting that he lived there and super duper believes in Bigfoot. So
that's crazy.
I'm pretty sure he was going outside too on snowmobiles. He told us about it. So did he see lizard people? So he gets back. He's like, Bigfoot is real, guys.
I believe them all. Prince Charles is a vampire. I've seen him. Okay, I don't. Anyway,
people are saying like scripturally the Earth is flat.
Something about the firmament and stuff. Yeah, I get it, but
I don't get it.
I don't understand the point.
Hold on, I love how people like jump to scripturally or biblically. That girl said that about Bigfoot.
Scripturally,
biblically.
King Charles is a vampire. I think it's in Revelation. I want to say that let's take a short break from the list and just say that some conspiracies out there are very real. There are very real, weird things going on in the world. That's just a fact. If there's people in power, there's always things weird that's going to be happening that they're trying to cover up.
There was something. I'm not even finding it on a search engine. There's apparently other things. This ABC News, breaking news, dangerous bacteria mysteriously escapes from Louisiana monkey lab. That article was listed in 2015. And then in 1998, it says 24 monkeys go on lam. Most are rounded up. Oh, wait. 24 monkeys escaped from the Tulane Center. 98, 24.
And one fell off and bumped its head.
There was something very recent that had to do with monkeys on a semi-truck.
Okay.
And it crashed and the monkeys got out and they were infected with something.
I vaguely remember something about that.
That was like, I don't know, within the last 2 years or something.
Yeah.
But it's not coming up when I search it. Curious.
It was either a conspiracy cover-up or completely insignificant. One of the two.
But I'm just saying there are so many weird things going on that we don't know about.
Oh, of course. That's the point I was making.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just say that I think there's people out there that will say that basically there are no conspiracies. It's just
we're all just living our lives.
People are trying to find purpose with, make sense of the world.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that it's
there's
like
some
a
elements
conspiracy. I'm saying like people are trying to figure things out, figure something out. And that's why there are so many weird things going on.
People don't like chaos. And believing in conspiracies brings order to the chaos. I don't know how flat Earth comes into that. Seems like it would be more chaotic.
Somebody would have fallen off the edge by now, right?
I don't know. Maybe the edge is really hard to get to.
Sort of like,
And if you get to the edge, maybe you just don't come back.
I mean, in Prince Caspian, right? They get to the edge.
Yeah, somehow Narnia's flat. But we exist in the same universe, apparently. So, I don't know. Aslan, come quickly.
Okay, are we rating that one?
I'm happy to believe that we live on a
Around
planet.
Earth. And see, here's
Around
the thing.
planet.
So this affects my future belief in a future conspiracy theory. I'm sure we're going to get to the moon landing. So
maybe
I'm not actually really sure where I land on any of these.
Please don't.
But some people say that like all the images are fake.
Yeah.
Like we haven't gone to space at all.
Well, it's the
and
perfect
so they're taking a
conspiracy.
picture.
It's the perfect conspiracy because you can't verify it.
Yeah.
You can't verify it. Now, I mean, there are experiments you can do. Greek philosophers determined that the Earth was round in the 3rd century BC. Okay? Like they did something with light in a well, and then so many miles ahead, they did the same experiment at the same time, and the light is in a different place, somehow proving that the Earth is round or whatever. I don't know.
You looked that up for this?
Yeah. But
I'm just like letting people know you didn't know this.
Oh, I knew it. I'm just full of knowledge. However, the round Earth was not accepted widely until the 15th century. Of course, when people are sailing and exploring, looking for new worlds, and it's
that
navigation.
That makes me believe it less, because they believed some weird stuff back then.
That the Earth is round?
Yeah.
No, that's when science started happening. A little bit
and they believed
more.
some weird stuff.
I mean, science had been happening long before that in different cultures and different societies.
Weird things.
Oh, there's weird stuff for sure. Yeah.
And like scientifically proven by them.
Makes you believe it less.
No, I'm a 1 there. Flat Earth.
Oh, you just disappointed so many people.
Well, send me the information and maybe I'll actually read it.
There's no point.
I know. That's
you don't
the
need
thing.
to.
I say, what does it matter? I have no choice in the matter.
Yeah.
I have no ability to change it. I don't need to know everything.
I think something on a fundamental level, like is the Earth flat or is it round, it doesn't matter because it's not a power struggle there, except for the people who have the information for whatever reason. It gets a little more iffy in the moon landing type of things because it's more like a conspiracy of the government lying to the people, which I guess flat Earth is too.
The government would be lying to us.
But why? About flat Earth. And don't tell me about the lizard people in Antarctica.
It's something to do with the lizard people, Jason.
Gosh. Okay. I'm going 1. One, because there's no reason for me to
Also,
think.
like a flat globe would be so ugly.
No, it doesn't look like that.
A map,
it
flat.
But it wouldn't. No.
That would not be aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
Aesthetically.
Uh-huh.
They got onto me for saying, I say aesthetically. And you want me to say aesthetically.
I don't care what you say.
Well, who was reading my audiobook, they thought I said it weird, but a globe would not be like that. Whatever that is wouldn't be aesthetically pleasing. And I really like the vintage globes, so I'm sticking with it.
There you go. Good reasoning.
I like it.
Terry Pratchett wrote a fantasy series where the world was on a disc and on the back of a giant turtle as well. Some people probably believe that about Earth. All right, let's move on. This one's weird. We can go through a few of these fairly quickly. The Earth is hollow. Never heard that one before.
Have you not ever seen The Core?
Was it hollow in the core?
No.
Oh.
But I loved that movie. It was like somebody made Armageddon, and they're like, wait, we're going to make The Core.
We're going to go the other
going
way.
To the core.
We're going to go in the opposite direction.
It's the exact same movie, except about the center of the Earth.
A lot less interesting.
I had actually never seen Armageddon, only seen The Core. Was like, that is such a great movie.
You've seen Armageddon since.
Now I've seen it, and I'm like, oh, that was a total ripoff. But I don't know which one came first. Probably Armageddon.
I think it was Armageddon, and it made me cry.
Yeah, it made me cry. Make me cry every time.
Absolutely ridiculous. You don't train oil drillers to become astronauts. You train astronauts to become oil drillers.
Well, I think maybe the person who made the core was like, no, this is how it should go. Just like you said.
Yeah.
But I don't care. Again,
you're not going to care about a few of these then.
So,
well, let me tell you what the theory
I mean, anytime I've ever put anything into the earth, it's very hard.
Okay. Right. Well, what?
So what makes me think it wouldn't just keep going? Hard.
Right. Yeah. It gets harder, actually.
Yeah.
Well, it's a theory from the 17th century where Edmund Halley, I'm not sure, proposed the idea because of Earth's changing magnetism.
I was going to say something to do with earthquakes.
Yeah.
It's weird. And we're on a major fault line.
Yeah. The New Madrid fault line. Yeah.
Where, like, I met someone this weekend and she was like, oh, are you on the New Madrid fault line or something? She's like, oh, New Madrid, huh? That's what she said. It wasn't even it was like New Madrid, huh? When I told her I was from. And I knew what she was talking about. And I was like, yeah, don't remind me.
Due for a catastrophe.
Are we?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. You should live in anxiety over it.
I will. I already do. It's always looming. As many things as I worry about, a major earthquake in Paducah, Kentucky is always looming in my head.
Well, according to science, overdue for an earthquake could, mean you have 1,000 years till it's...
What about my great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren?
You should definitely worry about them.
I do.
You know what?
I do.
Really?
Yes.
My great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren can fend for themselves.
I worry about them.
They're fine. They're fine.
Okay, wait. Now I'm starting to
They're eating organic because of you.
I'm feeling convinced about the hollow earth because of the sinkhole issue. The sinkhole issue in Kentucky.
Well, how far does it fall? The Corvette Museum that got eaten up by the earth. You think that's just because of the hollow earth?
Like the earth is just like, whoop. We're hollow.
The theory has grown to include the idea that there is an earth within the earth that can possibly be accessed via the North and South Pole.
Oh, I wonder if that's where the lizard people have access to the elevator.
Or that's what all those little spaceship things that they keep finding are coming from. They have accesses.
Wait, they keep finding little spaceship things?
Well, they don't, like the...
That's my anxiety breath.
Like in San Diego and different military bases, they're finding all these little tic-tac aircrafts that move around as quickly as, like, far faster than any of our planes can go, and they don't know what it is.
Great.
You don't know about this?
Nope.
You really don't read anything about current news, do you?
I try. Okay, Jason, I'm worried about our great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren. Do I need to be reading the news?
No.
I don't think so.
Please stay away from
some people. All right, some people are like, well, you are so privileged because you just get to live in your little bubble. It's like, listen.
If I read the news, I would dig a hole and live in a bubble.
Fall over
like an actual
with
bubble.
Anxiety. I can't. Like, I had to make a decision for my mental health.
Yeah.
To live in my world as it is. What is true right now.
Right. Well, there's possibly UFOs, and we don't know if they're friendly or not. So there you go.
That's why
They could be from the Earth's Earth.
I get nervous about this kind of stuff because it's like, I'm just going to show how uneducated I am. Obviously, I keep up with things like...
Oh, yeah. You keep up with plenty of things that I don't keep up with. The way we tend to work is I tend to keep up with
big picture.
A lot of the big picture current events.
And you'll let me in on it.
I'll let you in on whatever, I think you should know. You're on a need-to-know basis. And for this podcast, you need to know about UFOs.
Well...
And now you know.
This
there
is
have
what it
been-
looks like to control your anxiety without taking medication.
Yeah, you need a willing or a helpful partner. I'm giving it a 1. I think I'm probably a 1 on
Wait,
most
the
of these.
Earth within the Earth?
Well, yeah, okay. Well, just the Earth is hollow. We don't have to go deep into the Earth within the Earth,
I'm a 2
too.
because of sinkholes. I'm a 2 because of sinkholes.
Well, there are-
and I'm having a very hard time saying like definitively anything. Anything could happen.
I'll trust the geologists on this one. I'm good. They're though they haven't proven it.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we've all okay. Have you
Like,
seen
I
those?
sort of want to be someone who believes in an Earth within an Earth. Like, why not?
Kind of cool.
Sure.
Well, there are the.
I'm a 2.
Okay. Well, so have you seen the maps of how far we've ever dug into the Earth?
No.
It's like you have the different layers of the Earth, and we've gone miles and miles and miles down into the Earth, and when you look at the maps, it's like you could barely even tell that we've gone down into the Earth.
Creepy.
So
Ew, creepy. Ew, I'm so creeped out. I
Really?
don't like that.
really,
Yeah, I've never really thought about that. I don't like it at all. I don't like that.
this is not the reaction I
What?
expected.
There's an Earth within the Earth.
Maybe it's a good place. We should go to the South Pole. Check it out. There's an entrance, or maybe that's the exit. I don't know.
heebie-jeebies in your neck.
Really?
For some reason, you're telling me that. Just like I'm grossed out, and I'm just really
Grossed out?
disturbed. Just like
How is
I'm
that gross you
nightmares.
out?
definitely worrying about my great
Maybe they'll
tonight.
journey to the center of the Earth. That was, I mean, how are you getting there unless the Earth is hollow in that fiction tale? And then I think they find people.
See, it's like some of these really brilliant authors.
They just knew.
They somehow were let in on something. They had like a conversation with a secret government agent, and then they're like, "That would make a really great fiction
All right,
story."
Hollow Earth. I'm moving mine up to a 3. I like it.
I'm still a 2, but
When you factor in the UFOs that may not be from space but are actually just from Earth.
the
I'll
Earth
take-
within the Earth.
Yeah, why not?
Okay,
Also, the ocean, we've only explored like 0% of it. So there's that. Not 0.
Yeah.
It's a small number, though. That's kind of creepy. We don't know a lot about our own planet. It could be flat for all we know. All right. You've heard this one. Number 6. The Denver International Airport is the Illuminati's headquarters.
I've never heard that.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's this whole thing. I don't know a ton about it, but just that there's a big underground.
oh, I have
Place
heard there's
there.
an underground place there.
Yeah, well, okay.
It's for the Illuminati.
That's what Popular Mechanics says. Well, actually, here's what's interesting.
I'm basically Piglet, in case anybody's wondering.
Oh, did here. Do you think I'm more like Rabbit or Tigger?
Rabbit. Like, no question.
Get off my lawn. Get out of my garden.
Well,
No.
okay.
No?
When you're in a good mood, it's Tigger, like the overbearing,
Oh,
pounce
thank you.
you, like
Huh.
fun guy that everyone loves.
Oh, bother. All right.
That's also you. Actually, Jason,
I'm just the
you're
Winnie
just
the
Winnie the
Pooh
Pooh cast, except for Piglet. You really don't have that. I am fully Piglet, and you are everyone else.
You've seen me
Except
as
I'm-
Eeyore.
No, you are totally Eeyore sometimes.
Oh, man.
Okay, I've got Kanga and Roo. I am those, and Piglet.
Okay.
And you are definitely the rest of them.
I do like honey. Okay. So here's what's interesting. Denver Airport has used this theory for marketing, which has apparently spawned about $2 million in publicity.
Wow.
So I think Denver is just a random place. Why would you do it at an well, I guess airport so you can why Denver though? Because it's obscure. I get it. It's one.
Really obscure.
It's not expected. You wouldn't expect Denver to be the place. Like, why not like Washington, where great heads of state meet often, or I don't know, go to London or Paris or something, Denver.
I see Paris.
I won Denver. That's weird.
I have been in the Denver airport many times.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
See anything suspicious?
I was a child.
What?
I was a child.
Oh. They didn't take you back and try to drain your blood?
Nope.
Okay, that's good. So I'm giving it a 1. I'm sad that I'm a 1 on almost all of these. Like, I'm very low. I want to get to a 5 on something.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I am I don't care. I'm a 1. I don't care.
It's like, well, then you have to also believe in the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Like
I'm a 1.
Which is, I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't think about it. I'll get stressed.
Okay. Number 5, Disney created Frozen as a distraction. Let me just read this really quick. People have long discussed the conspiracy that Walt Disney used cryogenics technology to freeze himself when he died, even though Disney family refutes the claims. However, a new theory is that Walt Disney Company created Frozen as a way to hack Google's search algorithm to distract consumers from information about the late Walt Disney's possible frozen procedure.
I am a solid 1 on this because if Disney wanted to, they would just pay Google to not allow any of it. I'm searching these monkeys and nothing's coming up, and I know I heard something about monkeys.
I'm a 1. I'm going to let this one go. Did you see what I did there? Let it go. I am a 1.
How long have you been thinking about that joke?
It just came to me.
Oh, wow.
Like, this is on the fly. I'm
That's
so
good.
proud of it.
Yeah, that's good.
How can I use it? Love. I feel like Michael Scott. Love is an open door.
Love is an open door.
Yeah.
Belief is an open door.
Believe it. Yeah. To the Illuminati. Okay. I'm a 1 because there's much cheaper ways to do SEO.
I don't know. They
Search
probably
engine
made
optimization.
A lot of money on Frozen.
Oh, they did make it, but it would be a financial risk to try to make a movie.
No,
and hire
it would be good. Those songs are good.
Those songs are really good. They're all bangers.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Disney dropped the ball for so long and then released Frozen, and it was like, okay,
so you think
somebody can still
okay,
do
so
it.
you're adding to the conspiracy here. They really pulled out all the stops for this one to stop people from looking into Walt Disney's cryogenics program. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
That's not worth it. If they were trying to cover something up, it's not a very good conspiracy.
Yeah.
Because nobody cares.
Who cares?
You want to talk about him being frozen, whether it's true or not.
Mm-hmm.
So?
Yeah, I'm a 1, but
like, cover up something better.
I believe he could be frozen.
Yeah, I mean, why not? If you have all that money.
I'm a 10 there.
Yeah.
That's the conspiracy theory I will die
I'm
on
the
that
type
hill.
of person that
Just
if I
kidding,
were rich,
by the way, this is the first time I'm hearing of it.
If I were rich enough, I would.
You would freeze yourself?
To see what might happen.
Nothing.
To meet
You'll
my
die.
great grandchildren.
So that you can see that.
See if
my
they're still
worry
eating
was
organic. Is that a pasture raised space burger? No. Yeah, I'm a 1 because it seems dumb to try to even cover that up.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense because it was already a thing. All right. This one's weird. We're about to get into a couple of good ones. Don't worry. Earth has been sucked into a black hole.
1.
The European Organization for Nuclear Research is at the heart of a lot of crazy conspiracy theories, including people who believe that the discovered Higgs boson in 2012, they inadvertently created a black hole and Earth was sucked into it. These people think the world ended in 2012, but we haven't realized it yet.
Oh, okay. Now I'm actually interested.
So there is this thing, and this is something I learned.
Am I going to have an anxiety attack?
Maybe. There is this thing, and I read about this a long time ago. The closer you get to a black hole, the slower time becomes for the people witnessing it from afar or something like that. So like at the event horizon, basically, whatever's entering a black hole would just stay there from our perspective. And so maybe that's what's happening to Earth, except we're the ones that are there. So I don't know which one's seeing it in real time. I don't know. Things get weird.
Is that what
with
makes
gravity.
the Earth flat?
Is gravity real? Yeah. One, I don't think
That we're
we've
in
been
a black hole?
into a black hole.
Again, I say, what does it matter? What does it matter if we have?
Okay. All right.
One.
We're finding out that we're not very big conspiracy theorists. Maybe this is just a PR episode. Like, one. We don't believe any of them. We're not crazy. Number 3, COVID-19.
Whoa. You can't.
Listen, it's almost 2025. I can't.
I think it's too soon, Jason. There are still people wearing masks.
Then yeah. Well, tell that to Popular Mechanics. This is their article. Okay. I didn't engineer this.
COVID-19
was engineered by the media. That's what this says.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of interested in that.
Really, it's fairly simple. Some people think that the virus is a hoax that was engineered by the media and global elite to control the population.
I don't really believe that.
No. I think there are a lot.
Some people say COVID was something to do with 5G.
That one's weird to me.
Some people. I remember somebody
to
posting on Facebook that COVID is being spread through chemtrails. That's what they're using chemtrails for.
Wow. You just merged 4 conspiracies right there.
There's I actually don't really want to weigh in on this one, but I will say I had an illness and it was horrible and it hurt my spine and it was unlike any illness I've ever had. It was horrible. It would be classified as COVID-19.
I too had an illness that took away my smell and taste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That actually happened.
Same.
To me.
And I didn't make it up.
And I did not make that up. And it wasn't.
That was so weird.
That was strange.
Yeah.
It was a weird couple of weeks, really. A few weeks, maybe.
Yeah. And one thing I do think is strange is that my 7-year-old never had allergies at all. No, seasonal allergies until after he had COVID.
Yeah.
Or the illness or whatever it was. He had a specific illness and it's just strange.
Until he had the media.
And it seems like people are sicker now, just like in general.
Well, yeah, that could be years of just staying inside and not getting out much. Who knows? Lower activity levels since COVID.
Oh, there's so many conspiracies.
So to me, that's a weird phrasing of that conspiracy because I think there's a lot more plausible conspiracies to make about COVID.
Sure.
Than to say it wasn't even real and the media made it up to control the population. That's a weird take. Let me just say this. I think that that's a weird take.
That's a weird conspiracy. They should make a different conspiracy.
You're wanting me to leave it at that?
No.
I think there's so many better, more plausible takes surrounding COVID. Okay. That the disease was real, whatever. There's conspiracies about where it came from. There's conspiracies of why it exists in the first place. There's conspiracies about the vaccines, whatever. All of them, if really any conspiracy that can be traced to people making a lot of money will seem more plausible. So this is a weird take.
Mm-hmm.
Population control, I'm not so sure on that. That's strange to me. I would give that aspect a 1.
I thought there was a little bit of a boom because everybody was saying home.
I don't know.
A little freaky.
Maybe.
So that
there's actually a population decline.
In COVID?
No, just in general in a lot of places.
I know there's a general decline. I would be curious to see how many babies were conceived.
There's a baby boom.
Yeah, just a little.
Baby bump.
This is me also being uneducated again.
Oh, it's you being an optimist. Life, yay.
Yeah, I don't know. I do just want to make a disclaimer that Jason is separate than me. And anyone listening to this, if you're going to call me out and cancel me, Jason's the one who said all the things.
Yeah,
it's Jason.
I said all the things. That's
I know,
fine.
but it's happened to me before where people are like, I am unfollowing you. And it's like, well, Jason's the one who said it.
Well, you as in you too. Listen, as it's stated here, a 1, that I give it a 1.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about who's
Weird
making the
things.
big money, things like that.
Weird things in COVID.
Yeah, I would bump it up to more 3, 4. I think a lot of your woes in COVID, honestly, is just a lot of it's just really bad leadership.
I'm going to
in a
say
lot
a
of situations.
1 for this, but I'm not going to say my numbers for other COVID-related things because I'm
in certain
that's
types of things involving COVID, I'm happy to say 5, and 5 being a toss-up. Like, I don't know. I really don't know.
You wouldn't go
In
a
certain
little higher?
things. In certain things, I might get up to a 6. You never know.
7, 8?
10. No, I don't know. I really don't know. It's hard because...
Wouldn't it be so great to have the passion where you're just like 10?
I think number 2 might be there. Might be that. Number 2.
The next one?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
The government killed JFK.
You're a 10?
Not a 10. Not necessarily. I think there's overwhelming suggestion and evidence to suggest that the CIA played a hand in it.
Let's hear it.
Well, almost. There are very few Americans who think Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. That's been a thing since the day it happened. Okay, the biographer, Philip Shenin, claims that even Bobby Kennedy, the president's brother, thought the CIA was responsible for his brother's death. There is so much history with
grief.
What? Well, there's so much
role.
history with JFK and the CIA were at odds with each other, and it wasn't a good situation.
Sure.
Of course, there people say the mob, people say Cuba or the Russians, whatever.
I'm more in that. Like, that's where I start questioning.
Oh, like other governments and things? Yeah. But then there's things like, okay, Lee Harvey Oswald, he was being taken to jail, and then Jack Ruby comes in and he shoots him. And nobody knows why. Jack Ruby has no connection to Lee Harvey Oswald, but he does have connections to the mob, maybe the CIA. We don't really know. And Jack Ruby killed Lee Harvey Oswald. Jack Ruby goes to prison, is killed in prison. Things are happening.
Sketch.
There's some sketchy... Nope. That's not just, I'm mad you killed the president. Pfft. I'm mad you killed Lee Harvey Oswald. Pfft. It's not that... No. Something's going on.
Sure, but what? Like, why would he be killed in prison?
So here's what's interesting. Trump said that if he gets into office, he will release the JFK files. He said that before, and he didn't, which is fine, whatever. He had his reasons, I guess. By Wednesday, we may or may not know if we're getting those JFK files. I have no idea. It's currently Monday. So, sorry if you already know and I don't. So, anyway, just thought I would throw that out there because we don't know by the time this comes out, we may know whether or not we're getting the JFK files. So,
well, we don't really ever know.
That's true. How much of it's going to be redacted? So many people
say things and don't follow through.
Yeah. So number 2, I would give it a solid 7. Things were weird back then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, what was the actual? What did it say? Oh, it's the CIA?
Yeah, that the CIA, no, actually it said the government. The government. Killed, which could include CIA, could include, any number of
I'll give
agencies.
It a 5 or 6.
Yeah. And I would even just throw in there that maybe they were part of it or, could be.
Sure.
I think 7, maybe even 8. What I was going to say earlier is that Stephen King, who wrote this book, 11/22/63, love that book. It's about trying to stop the JFK assassination, is like vehemently against there being another shooter even, which people are like, there were definitely more than one shooter. And
why is he
I don't know.
taking that stand?
I don't know. It feels like a weird stance to take, in my opinion.
Like, probably just to
because,
make sure he doesn't get any extra.
Right.
He was involved. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Number one. How many videos have we made about the moon landing, Emily?
At least 4.
Why do we keep coming back to the moon landing?
How many followers have we lost? At least 5,000.
We gained 6,000 on just the one most recent.
But we've lost probably 5, maybe 10,000 followers. Because of a joke about a moon landing?
We feel like that this is the conspiracy theory you can joke about. Why not?
Who cares?
Because it implies...
It is clear that the government isn't telling us everything.
Yeah.
Why is the moon landing? People, shady business is happening.
Yeah.
Like, things aren't always what they appear to be.
Yeah.
Things... There were monkeys, I tell you, and now I can't find an article about it. I tell you, there were monkeys.
Insignificant event. That's my theory on the monkeys.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
The disease ended up being the common cold. So
I'm just saying there are weird things going on. So why are we so upset about the moon landing? I mean, that's my highest one. I'm not going to say a 10.
Sure.
I'm more like a 7, 6, 7, 6,
9,
7, 8, 9.
No,
0.5.
Come on.
No. I don't care. I really don't care. But the things people have said are like, yeah, that's weird. But then while we were on our trip, I drove through a tunnel that was going underwater for miles.
Yeah.
Miles. A tunnel underwater that you drive through. That seems crazy. So it's like if they can build a tunnel underwater for miles, they could probably go to the moon.
Seems a little easier, maybe, in my opinion.
Wait, but when you go down there to put a brick down, doesn't water go all around?
There's tunnel diggers. They have these...
I know there's a tool. I've seen it. I've seen it.
And they work from this...
Big machine.
Well, they work from this, confined space.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I know. But still, my brain just can't get there. So I'm like, maybe they did go to the moon. They built that tunnel. Maybe they did.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not actually as hung up on the naysayers when it comes to. I'm not as hung up on the technological side of it that people talk about. There wasn't enough technology.
The telephone was weird.
Yeah, the calling on a regular phone from the moon to the president's office is a little strange.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, I get that. And I understand the arguments against the technological stuff. I get that. What?
The telephone? But that's a major piece to the puzzle.
Well,
is the telephone. People hinge their whole belief on that telephone.
You could be connecting a radio to a telephone wire type of thing. I mean, I'm not saying this. I don't know how it works. And
why they present it that way? They should have just had a radio if it was a radio situation.
Not really sure.
I can't get behind the telephone.
What I get what is more convincing to me is that it was so important to beat all of the other nations to the moon.
Yes.
That we're like, I could see, oh, look, we got to get something done. Stanley Kubrick, get over here.
Yes.
That's
what that's really...
Because, there's arguments piece. Well, you have to go through the Van Allen belt, which is this radiation field between here and the moon, and, you can't survive it. But then you look up arguments against it, and they're like, well, they were actually through it. They were going through the Van Allen belt for such a short period of time, it wouldn't have hurt them.
Sure.
And then, there's all these things. Well, Buzz Aldrin admitted that they didn't land on the moon, but they say all of his interview clips that sound like that are actually taken out of context and are actually answering other questions, not that question. He's not saying what you think he's saying, according to the people.
According to them.
Right.
But if the government is so like that, wouldn't they have just done away with Buzz?
Right.
If that was really...
It's Buzz is he needs to have a heart attack. It's time for him to go. He's talking a little too much. No. Yeah. There's the thing that we get the most trouble about, get flack about, is that when you say something and joke about the moon landing, you are discrediting all the people who worked so hard to accomplish a great feat. And I honestly, if it's true, and we did go, I agree. Not because we make a joke about it, but for the people who are so hard against it. I get that. It was at a weird time in American history where, television was pretty new. Live television was in its infancy.
We can just have astronauts using a video camera.
Yeah.
That's pretty technical. Getting good shots. Who got the shot of them flying away?
Where it pans upward. Stanley Kubrick. No, it was on a dolly or something. I don't know. I think the argument for that is that they timed it or something. I don't know.
Timed it?
Yeah, like they had it on a timer to follow it up.
What?
Don't quote me on that one. I'm not 100% sure. We're digging ourselves deep. But I'm going to land on
How many people are going to stop listening to this podcast because of this episode?
Oh, really? You think?
How many do you think?
None.
We're losing a couple. And I'll be sad to see you go. Please come back. This isn't going to be a regular thing.
I thought you were saying that to me.
No.
Jason, you're fired.
No.
Here's the thing. Okay. Moon landing, wasn't real. Moon landing was fake. I give it a 4. I'll give it a 4. I land on the not.
4?
Yeah, I'm not as convinced that it was fake as other people.
I'm taken aback by this.
Really?
So that's why you don't care. You're like, stir the pot, Emily. Do it. Do it. Do it.
I love the joke.
Do it.
I love the joke.
Sure.
It's funny. And it's funny that people get so mad about it.
I think it's weird that people get so mad about it. I'm sorry if I'm discrediting your great uncle Alfred.
Who worked on the seatbelts.
He worked very hard.
Yeah.
And that's great. And you should still be proud of him.
Yeah. Something else I don't truly understand is people say it would be more expensive to film it the way they did than it would be to actually go to the moon. I'm like, that doesn't compute. That math ain't mathing for me.
Yeah, I don't get that. Actually, so while we were at that museum, when we made the most recent video that apparently people think we're dumb because we're like, did that land on it? And it wasn't even something that landed on the moon.
It was the command module.
Yeah. Anyway, there was a video. There was a movie that came out long before the moon landing. And like they were talking about how accurate the filming was.
Yeah.
And it was almost like, or are you just trying to...
Could we borrow your set for a few days? Just keep that intact. We have something we need to do. Stanley, get over here. We've got a picture for you to make.
Yeah, I'm still just like a 6 because
the moon isn't even real.
Is that one?
That is one, but I think it goes along with flat Earth.
What?
It's a projection or something for some reason. I think most of these...
they're saying it's a projection from somewhere.
I guess.
Just put in the sky, like...
For whatever reason.
But we can't see the light that is projecting.
Listen, here's where I fall on most conspiracies. When it comes to all that kind of stuff, I tend to fall on what the standard belief is. The Earth is round. Sure, we've gone to the moon, or at least we've attempted to.
Just be just be blind, huh?
Sure.
You tend to you're
Absolutely.
just a sheep.
Absolutely. That's fine.
Following the herd.
That was a goat. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, me too, because I'm too scared.
Too scared not to. Yeah. And
Which is really bad. Like, why can't I be more brave?
I mean, it's not bravery to just think the earth is flat. That doesn't help you. And it certainly doesn't get you far in life, except at the Flat Earth Society. But no, what I was saying is that, on those type of things, I tend to just, I'll be a sheeple. That's fine. It's more so, and when it comes to like money and things like corporations, I'm more, government is very wasteful in their spending for a very good reason because it lines the pockets of big politicians. Insider trading's a big thing in politics.
I mean, I've seen weird money happenings within someone I know's life.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like, I know weird things are going on because...
Especially at a top level where we're talking millions and millions of dollars. I mean, I'm saying if you're seeing that on my small, local-ish level, then it's happening. Crazy things are happening on a much higher level.
Sure.
And deals being made in back rooms and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Gross.
And that's sort of what I glean from all of this, is that most of these that we see on this list and so many other ones are such distractions from the bad
grand conspiracy. From
the bad things that are actually happening in the world.
Sure.
We get so focused on, is Bigfoot real? And those,
do we get so focused on it?
Well, apparently some people do. And I guess in a way, some of those are fun. And Bigfoot's a harmless one, right? I mean, that's fine. I personally think most of them are harmless.
I am unfollowing you because of what you said about Bigfoot.
Yeah, probably. Well, I feel like most of these are just distractions. And I think there's much bigger problems in the world. We just need to try to make our way to the second Earth within the hollow Earth at the poles, and all will be better. Maybe, unless they came from there to here, and this is the second Earth.
And they're the reason we're going into the black hole?
I don't necessarily believe that they're true.
Sure.
But if they turn out to be true, I'm not going to be in the least bit surprised.
Well, that's why I said like 2, 3, 2. There's a couple ones.
There's even like, if it was proven tomorrow that the earth is flat, I'd be like, that tracks.
I wouldn't be like, that tracks. I'd be like, wow, cool. Back to planting those bulbs, because a lot of people have asked me to remind them to go ahead and plant bulbs if you want flowers in the spring. This is like... So now's the time if you're in my zone.
Excuse me, when you're on your podcast next, could you remind me to plant my bulbs?
No, it was last year. Lots of people were like, could you tell us when to plant these? So anemones, ranunculus,
it's called
daffodils.
A calendar.
Just do it now. It's not too late. I haven't gotten mine in the ground yet. I just hijacked the podcast there.
There you go.
These are the things I would talk about if it was purely Emily's podcast. Let's talk about flowers.
Listen, this one comes from the people. This is a request.
Yeah.
Okay?
I will say, there's something weird going on with my cosmos. I stomped them down before we left. I stomped those suckers down because I was like, they'll be dead and I'll just pull them out. And they weren't even flowering. And when I came back, I have tons of the flowers just were like rising up, blooming. It's beautiful. Tons of them. So weird.
There are a lot of things, weird things happening in the cosmos. Just remember that.
In our backyard.
Yeah.
The cosmos. Those ones.
Strange things in the cosmos. All right. Well, where do you land on all this? You feel the same way?
I would say, yeah, just there are weird things going on. I think we're also really bored.
Yeah.
People are bored, so they just come up with ideas. People want attention. They want to be interesting. So,
and they're certainly not focused on the here and now. They're not present.
That's what I like. That is my whole goal. What is true right now? And that's what I want to focus on. That's how I want to live my life. I don't really care. But that doesn't make for interesting content.
What is true right now? That's good. King Charles is a vampire. I'm sure he's a...
Okay, let me phrase this. What do I know to be true right now? That's what I want to focus on.
That's good. Well, we're in the sinkhole state, so maybe we'll find the second Earth by accident on the New Madrid fault line.
Thank you for listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast. If you had nightmares, I am sincerely sorry, because I'm sure I will as well.
But if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review on your favorite podcast app. We're trying to get to 1,000. We're at 600 something as of episode 29.
Oh, that's a good goal.
Yeah, let's get to 1,000 reviews. 5-star preferably. There's a couple of you out there. There's a couple of you out there who are like, great episode. This is wonderful. 1 star. 1 star is not good, just so you know. But
so if you accidentally hit the 1 star, make sure you fix it.
Yeah, there's a couple of like 2 and 3 stars out there where there's.
We should be asking for reviews on this episode because I feel like it's very controversial. So the people who are going to unfollow are going to go leave a 1-star
They
review.
might have left in the middle of the episode. I think whoever made it to here enjoyed it. And they need to review if they're willing. Just hit that little 5-star right there.
Okay, this was all Jason's idea. You can thank him, positively or negatively.
You're welcome.
We'll see you later.
Have a good day. Live in the moment.